Okay, so let's unpack a scenario that I think pretty much everyone has faced at some point.
Hmm.
You walk into a conference room, maybe you're setting up your home theater, and you've got your laptop. It's modern, sleek, it has USB-C ports.
Right, but the display, the big 4K TV or the projector is way over on the other side of the room.
Exactly. And a standard HDMI cable just isn't going to cut it over that distance.
No way. You'd either have cables trailing everywhere or, the signal would just die completely.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into a piece of hardware that's built to solve that specific headache.
Okay.
It's let me get this right, the PureLink EZU-USB-C to HDMI extender. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, but the mission is simple, right? It's about bridging that gap between your laptop and a faraway screen without losing any of the quality.
And what's really interesting to me is how it does it. It's not some proprietary cable.
Yeah.
It uses standard CT6.
The same stuff you use for your internet. It's a really professional grade way to get around the limits of, normal video cables.
So let's get right into the specs, because long distance with video usually means you're making a compromise somewhere.
Uh-huh.
How far can this thing actually push a high-res signal?
It's actually surprisingly robust. If you're pushing a full 4K resolution at 60 Hz, which is kind of the gold standard for smooth video,
Yeah.
you can go up to 164 feet. That's 50 meters.
Wait, 164 feet? That's
Oh.
massive. That's almost half of a football field.
It is. And if you don't need that full 4K60, say you're good with 1080p or maybe 4K at 30 Hz, you can push it even further,
How much further?
all the way out to 230 feet, which is about 70 meters.
Wow. I did notice in the specs they also mentioned 4K at 120 hertz. That's pretty high-end, almost gaming territory.
It is, yeah. Though, physics does start to push back a little there. For that super high refresh rate, the distance drops to about 98 feet.
Still, 30 meters is nothing to sneeze at.
Not at all. And it's all possible because the device is handling a huge amount of data. We're talking 18 GBps of video bandwidth and a total data rate of 32 GBps.
So the practical upshot is you could keep your noisy computer in a server closet and just have a clean, silent display on the wall.
Precisely.
But what about the setup? Is this a call the IT guy kind of situation, or is it something, a normal person can handle?
That's the best part. It's designed to be totally plug and play.
Really?
Yeah. The transmitter side uses your laptop's USB-C port with something called DP Alt mode.
Okay, what does DP alt mode mean in plain English?
It just means the USB-C port can send a native DisplayPort video signal. So you plug in your laptop, Windows, Chrome, even a Mac, and it just works. No drivers to install, no software.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially in a corporate environment where you can't just install things on your machine.
Exactly.
And it looks like it's not stripping out features either.
Yeah.
It supports HDR, and it's compliant with HDCP 2.2 and 2.3.
Yep. So your protected content, like a 4K Netflix stream, isn't going to get blocked. Plus, it passes through high-end audio formats, DTS, Dolby Digital. You're not losing that theater experience.
Okay, but I want to be critical for a second. There's always a catch. This isn't the passive dongle, is it? I saw it consumes 90 watts of power.
That's a very important point. This is an active system. It needs power, and it generates some heat. It's rated to operate between 32 and 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
So you need to think about that if you're putting it in a tight, unventilated space.
You absolutely do. You need to account for that power draw and the heat.
And what about the cost? This sounds like professional gear.
It is. It's listed at $349.99, so definitely pro gear pricing. I did see in the source material there's a 5% off discount code, though.
Good to know. And for that price, you are getting a 3-year warranty from PureLink.
And this is critical for any of our listeners in government or large corporations. It is TA compliant. That's a huge checkbox for federal procurement. They really market it as, quote, worry-free extension.
So to sum it up for you, what this really means is that the layout of your space no longer has to be dictated by how long your HDMI cable is. You put the screen where it looks best, and the source device, the laptop, wherever it's most convenient.
Exactly. And that actually leads me to a final thought. We spend so much time focusing on screen quality. Is it OLED? Is it 8K? But we rarely think about the infrastructure that gets the image to the screen.
That's true.
When you suddenly have the ability to push a perfect, uncompressed 4K60 signal over 160 feet of cheap Ethernet cable, it really changes how you can design a space architecturally. You can completely decouple the source from the display. So my question is, what other hardware could we finally hide away if distance was no longer a limitation?